Matt Rhule has already built one of the best coaching staffs in the country at Nebraska. And because of that, multiple college football programs are trying to steal the Huskers coaches. Number one on that list is defensive coordinator Tony White. So in today's video, I'm going to break down a rising star on Nebraska's coaching staff. And I'm going to detail why I expect him not only to be the replacement for Tony White as the future defensive coordinator for Nebraska, but I expect him to be better. So really quick, before we dive into it, make sure to smash that like button if you're excited about the future of Matt Rhule's coaching staff, along with subscribing to the channel if you want to stay up to date with everything Nebraska football, Nebraska recruiting, Nebraska rumors, anything related to the Huskers this offseason. I have you covered, so hit that subscribe button. But without further ado, let's jump into the video talking about Nebraska's coaching staff, specifically on the defensive side of the football. Now, before I talk about this rising star candidate, let's talk about Tony White. I fully expect this to be the last year of Tony White at Nebraska. Nebraska is projected to have a top 20, even a top 10 defense in 2024. And as we saw this offseason, Tony White could have left. He applied for multiple head coaching vacancies at UCLA, San Diego State, Syracuse. And Matt Rhule was actually on the phone with multiple Power 5 ADs pitching Tony White to them to basically say, hey, this guy, he's one of the best coaches in the country. You would be thrilled to have him as your next head coach. So we know that he's the real deal, and because of that, he's primed for a position at the next level. Now, with that being said, we're going to have a vacancy at DC after this year or even after the 2025 season. If we've looked at what Matt Rhule has done in the past, he likes to promote from within. He likes to promote guys who were positional coaches, were wide receiver coaches, quarterback coaches, and he likes to promote them to that coordinator spot. Now, I expect the next defensive coordinator for Nebraska when Tony White leaves to be Evan Cooper, the current DB coach for Nebraska. And I have three reasons why he's not only going to be a great defensive coordinator, but I expect him to be better than Tony White. So let's just jump into the first reason, and this goes back to his recruiting ties. He is a tenacious recruiter. Matt Rhule said when he was hired by Nebraska that Evan Cooper is constantly showing him film of players that he has never seen before, that he's up at 3 a.m. watching film, looking over guys from Colorado, Iowa, these random states, because he just loves recruiting. He loves looking over film and finding studs that nobody else is looking after. Matt Rhule said that he's great at finding gems, great at finding athletes, that he loves guys who have speed, explosiveness, height, and not only that, but commitment off the field, that Evan Cooper really is the wheels behind the recruitment at Nebraska. Not only that, but he's had success throughout his career at Nebraska with only 1 year. He landed 3 4-star DBs in the class of 2024, and he's trying to do it again in the class of 2025. He does it on all facets. He's bringing guys on visits. He's recruiting on the West Coast, East Coast, and he's already established himself as one of the best recruiters in the country. So he's going to absolutely do that as the DC for Nebraska, just at a higher level. And he's proved himself as being the real deal, as I said earlier, the wheels behind Nebraska's recruiting. So that's the number one reason. Let's take it to the number two reason. This is very important. Evan Cooper has a lot of upside as a coach. Now, I talked about this in my Garrett McGuire video. Not only is Matt Rhule trying to develop the players on the field, but he has a lot of young coaches, young positional coaches. He's trying to develop them as well as coaches. Evan Cooper is younger than 40 years old. I believe he's about 38, 39 years of age. Okay, he still has a solid 30 years left of coaching experience. Okay, his recruiting has been great. His development still needs to be worked on, but his upside is unbelievable. And he's progressively taking on a higher workload. He's the passing game coordinator for Nebraska. He's getting a bigger workload when it comes to recruiting. But the fact that he has 30 years left, the fact that he is so young, is only going to mean good things for Matt Rhule, for Nebraska. And let's just take it to the stats. In his first year for Nebraska, Nebraska's pass defense limited opponents to only 6 yards per attempt, a total that ranked 9th nationally. Not only that, but the Huskers ranked 15th nationally in passing efficiency on defense, their highest finish in over a decade. Okay, that's the Evan Cooper effect. That is the Evan Cooper effect. The fact that he already stepped in there in 1 year and revolutionized the defense hand in hand with Tony White. Okay, the upside is ridiculous for him. He's already showing it off in the stats. But listen, the recruiting is awesome. The upside is awesome. But it doesn't matter if you don't have the third thing I'm going to talk about, and this is the Matt Rhule connection. Now, when Matt Rhule was hired by Nebraska, he said in an interview that before he even decided to take the job, he knew that Evan Cooper was going to be on his staff, that Evan Cooper is a hard worker, that he cares about his program, that he cares about his job more than anybody else he's ever seen before. And he exemplifies what being a Husker coach is. The fact that you have that N on your shirt, that you have that N on your hat, that you're representing that all the time. Evan Cooper understands that. And Evan Cooper always is working hard, always trying to take those extra steps to bring Nebraska back. He's Matt Rhule's right-hand man. He was that exact same way at Baylor. He was that exact same way at Carolina when he went with Matt Rhule over to the Panthers. Okay, when Matt Rhule is at Nebraska, Evan Cooper is always going to be there. Okay, Evan Cooper loves Matt Rhule, and he won't leave unless he gets an absolutely great gig. You know what? He proved that this offseason because Matt Rhule actually reported in an online interview on the radio that Evan Cooper had a call from a college football program, and he was offered 2 times the money that he's being paid right now by the Huskers, and he declined it to stay with Nebraska. That's loyalty, that's commitment, and that's that Rhule connection, and that is super important. Again, Evan Cooper, first guy in, last one out mentality. He's always working. He's a great recruiter, and he's going to take this to the next level. He has that Husker culture. He has that Husker DNA, and he has what Matt Rhule looks for in a coach. Just that ability to bring the best out of anybody that you come in contact with on and off the field. He's going to make players better. And I want to go back to the recruiting thing real quick, because Evan Cooper is constantly finding these gems in recruiting. Okay, a lot of times as Nebraska fans or as college football fans, we complain when a school doesn't get a 4-star or when they don't get a high 3-star. Okay, Evan Cooper has got a lot of low 3-stars, but you're going to see this season, next season, that a lot of these low 3-stars who may not have a lot of offers, they're going to be some of the best recruits that Nebraska has committed because Evan Cooper worked hard. He looked over the film. He saw the explosiveness. He saw stuff that nobody else is looking at. Okay, he's one of those guys that you want on your coaching staff because it's really easy to offer dudes who are listed as a top 100 recruit in the country. It's really easy to offer those guys and go after them. It's a lot harder to find those depth pieces, those guys who are low 3-stars, those diamonds in the dirt, if I will. And Evan Cooper is already a master of that. So just to recap, one of the best recruiters, not only for Nebraska, but in the country. He has upside unlike any other. He's taking on a higher workload every single year, the passing game coordinator now for Nebraska, along with being the DB coach. And he has that Matt Rhule DNA, that hard work, the stuff that you look for in a Husker coach. He has everything. So with that being said, not only do I expect him to replace Tony White when Tony White decides to leave, he's going to be better, and he's going to be one of the best defensive coordinators in the country. So, yeah, guys, let me know in the comment section. What do you think about Evan Cooper? Are you excited about him potentially being the next DC? Do you think Nebraska goes in a different direction when the time comes? Let me know all of that down below in the comment section. And, hey, if you made this far in the video, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. And as always, folks, go Big Red, go Matt Rhule, an extra one today. Go Evan Cooper, and see you in the next one.